evening, race fans. Tonight's gonna be a blast. We're live with the best sim racers in Israel, and it's going to be a show. 2 classes, 4 different races, and well, that's one shot at glory. Silver's Hungry, Gold's Elite. Let's light this thing up. We're looking at the Google Earth overview of this track here out in California, and you're gonna hear me say it quite a few times here tonight. It's an elevation hungry track. That Google Earth there just put it in perspective here just a little bit more. Welcome in here to Stam Studio Network, or also if you're joining in on the IIL YouTube channel, wherever you are joining in from, I do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And let's take a look at that starting grid here tonight. Looks like Itzik put it on the pole there last second. Rodem Katz, Rodem Lev, Ignacio Glumsher, also P2, 3, and 4. We're going to get things going. Rodem Katz, Ido Tal there, 3rd. Rodem Lev, P4th. Itzik Grossman, Lyron Chester, Matvey Merman, Erzar Raphael, Ofer, Ofek, Miniland, and Tomer rounding out our 13 driver field here today. Green flag is out, and away we are racing. Ignacio with a massive gap here into turn 1. One of the most toughest, well, let's call it the second toughest turn here at the track. Got Ido Tal sitting P2. This is Lyron here, right here behind for P3. Matt Vey also with an excellent start, already up 4 positions, as now we're looking too wide at the little further back of the pack. That was a really big jump for Ignacio there on the start, but he's going to make it work. And here we're going to have slight contact out of Itzik and Ofer Mazuz, that purple LMP3 422, trying to make P6 work. Unfortunately, not going to happen. Look out, here's Dive Bomb City for Birdie, not Birdie, that's Ofek Drabinski there, that white 21, able to get 1 pass solidified there, make his way up to P8 as we head down and up into the corkscrew. Is that's going to be Tomer also involved. Birdie goes around as well. This is back out to the lead, and then we'll cut to the 1, 2, 3,000 looks at the replays that we have here. Already Ignacio coming and completing lap 1 of this first 20-minute heat. Here comes Ido Tal for P2, got Lyron here for P3. This is battle for last place. We just saw both of these cars facing the wrong direction. Now heading back the right direction here for Birdie, as well as Tomer. Tomer tries to get a little bit deep into the braking zone, locks up that left front tire. Now he's going to take a sweep to the left as gravel already accumulates all throughout the track. There's another really nice battle between Matvey Merman and Ofer Mazuz. Ofer in that 422, red, white, and blue, chasing Matvey 79. They're going to hang a right-hander. It's going to be one more right-hander. And then our little short shoots here. It's going to be a slight uphill left-hander. One of my favorite tracks at Laguna Seca because of the elevation here. You can really battle, take these competitors deep into the braking zone. Here we have the, I think you call that the kink, good, and then heading up into the infamous corkscrew here. Ofer losing here just a few positions, or gaining a few positions, but losing out on a little bit of a gap on Matvey is, oh my, Itzik now goes around. Or just has a massive save out of the corkscrew. We'll take a look at Itzik here. Definitely one of the toughest turns. I'd call it in North America right here. It's a 10-story drop. You got to get this long prototype machine. Excellent save. Nice job to get that thing locked down. It, matter of fact, does not go around. We'll take a look at that earlier incident with Tomer here. Okay, this is going into the last turn of the track. We're trying to hang a left and keep things moving and grooving. No, Tomer just has nowhere to go. That kind of happened with Ofek, I believe, right there in front of him. We'll cut back to our lead, what is not even a battle at this point anymore. Ignacio with that massive jump on the restart. Ido Tal now 2.5 seconds behind. Lyron, he's really nice start, showing up 3 spots since the drop of the green flag here tonight at Laguna Seca. Liking what I'm seeing from the all-white IIL aka Esports LMP3 driver, that number 34. Rodem Lev, both Rodems were immaculate here in practice. Unfortunately, Rodem Katz, he's down 11 spots on the start, and this was there was an incident before the green flag. I just now have a look at the replay of, oh boy, what happened here for the Silver Series. So here's when the Porsche pace car is cutting into the pits. Okay, this is Rodem Katz. Yeah, our pole sitter heading down. Oh, don't tell me we're going to get a pinch and a car goes around. Oh, that was right off the start. That's where Tomer is nowhere to go. Splits it 3 wide. I don't think too much damage for Tomer there. Goodness gracious, things happen quick here at Laguna. That is how Ignacio is able to get and retain the lead. Now working still that 2.5 second gap over Ido Tal here. And we do hit some pretty high speeds at Laguna, don't get me wrong. It's matter of fact, I think I can show you a little driver dashboard at the bottom right, upwards of 210, pushing 220 kilometers an hour, heading up the hill and down into the corkscrew, down to second gear. 10-story drop as now we got to set up turns. That's 9, 10, 11, and 12 coming to. Thank you, Alejandro, joining there and YouTube chats. I really appreciate you coming out and watching these ILAKA esports drivers try and tackle this really, really tough track. If you don't have an iRacing account, man, what are you doing? This is a free track here within the service. Come join us here on these fellow. It's every Monday night. We have Silver and Gold coming at you live from the IIL and Stam Studio Network YouTube channels. If you're liking what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, and, well, if you don't like, just comment down there. Let me know what I can do a little bit better, and I will make it happen. Sean Stam behind the scenes, producing, commentating, you guys down there in YouTube chat. I'll call you guys the directors here tonight. This is, we are approaching just the fourth mark on our first heat race for Silver Series. It's 2 20-minute heats, and then we'll have the Gold Series come and show us how it's done right afterwards. Same stream as well. You don't have to go anywhere. Be sure you have your drinks and snacks on hand. You're not going to want to leave your seat, as Ido Tal here. The gap is just about similar as Ido pushes it deep into the corkscrew. Let's hop on board with Ido here. All right, we're going to do something really neat here. We're going to hop on board with Ignacio, see what his race line is here into the turn 1. It's a double apex, double left-hander. Gets it slowed down to first gear. Really like that, able to clip both rumble strips on the left. And here's Ido Tal. A little bit wider entry there out of turn 2, but gap, well, it's now dropped down to 3 seconds. Ofek having himself a really nice run here tonight. He's sitting up +5 spots since when the green flag dropped for this driver, the LMP3. Driving the 21 here tonight, all white. Got the IIL, of course, the ILAKA esports sponsorship. Appreciate everything that you guys do for us behind the scenes, as well as DRS, Drive and Ride Simulation, and GRIIP. I believe they have some sim racing gloves available there on their web market. Ofek and Matvey right now, this is our closest battle on the track, and once again, we're heading upwards of 150, 160 here, and then gonna climb upwards to 200 kilometers an hour, push 220 up the hill, and then we're gonna head right back down it through the corkscrew. Ofek continuing to close the gap, and Matvey runs a little bit wide. We saw that front tire lockup there. Guys there in YouTube chat, once again, I appreciate every single one of you joining in, and maybe let me know who your pick is to win this first silver race. Lyron up here P3, also gaining 3 spots on the start of the race. Liking what I'm seeing is here comes Rodem Lev. We saw the pace that Rodem had in both practice and qualifying. Rodem now, unfortunately, at -1 spot from where he started, but working on that back bumper, trying to get it back, but the dirty air, these LMP3 machines, it's so tough to get these things turned once you start getting a little bit closer behind that driver in front of you. The car just tends to get tighter and tighter, especially through those tighter sections here. No clean air to go over the car and underneath that diffuser. Really make that downforce work and make that the vacuum underneath the car really stick to the track. That's why I think we're starting to see maybe some different driver lines being ran. Sure that the track temp is definitely going to play a major role here, as this is the worn out asphalt. It's not the newer asphalt that we do have at Laguna Seca in real life. And taking a look at it here, the right side of the screen, got 11 km/h wind, so that's already pushing you down that front stretch heading into turns 1 and 2. Once again, that double apex left-hander, 250 degrees track temp. I believe that. Oh, excuse me. No, there's no way. That's 20 degrees Celsius air temp. That's 31 degrees Celsius track temp. Apologies. I don't know what that 242 is there. Probably latitude, longitude. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But liking what I'm seeing, it's week in and week out of this ILAKA Esports, both silver and gold. We do get very, very nice battling between both series of classes. Ooh, that's Itzik running there a little wide as he tries to, excuse me, yeah, that is Itzik, who runs wide now, gets a little bit more gravel raced onto the racing surface. And that's another thing iRacing simulates here, just down to a T, is, yeah, we can start to see the gravel accumulates here. It's on the racing circuit here now. It's just going to continue. Oh, man, look at it fly out underneath the car. It's just going to continue to stick to these tires, and you're going to have even less grip next time if you are coming to one of those orange and yellow flag sections, one of iRacing's newer implemented flag systems. That's letting these drivers know that there's just a little debris here up on track. Here, as I mentioned it, Leron's going to run a little wide, get even more gravel on his Michelin Racing tires. Here comes Rodham Lev to close the gap even more. Oh, this is getting good as we have two battles starting to ensue on track. Ofek and Ofer Mazuz starting to get close to one another here as well. Scratch that. This is Ofek and Matvey Merman. That's Matvey in the orange and white, and he is just battling for grip here. The track temp a little warm, possibly already gone through, and well, you got to be a little careful. Treat these tires as if they're marshmallows. Don't want to cook them too much too early or get them just completely smoked. And that's possibly what we are seeing here out of Matvey. I've seen him struggling for grip once, twice, maybe even thrice here tonight from Laguna Seca. Once again, heading back on board with our final spots for the podium in our first heat race tonight. We are just approaching a little over halfway to go in our first heat race. I'm going to treat you guys to the sights and sounds of the racetrack. Crank it up, let these engines roar. I'll be right back up here in the booth. Oh, rode him. Call it the Sean and Tater curse here. Sorry if I If I just scared anybody there, I try to give you a warning before Crank It Up is through. Well, that is your warning there. Man, I don't think there was contact. We were on board with the front of Rotem Lev. Let's take another look at it here. This SSN aerial drone cam going to bring us a great replay of it. Excellent camera work here by our drone operator. This is Rotem. Oh, he thinks about the dive bomb and then kind of Lairon shuts the door, but that is all clean. But between the both of them there, and Rotem just a little too deep on that double apex heading into turns 1 and 2. Rotem Lev, don't count him out though, because these drivers in the Silver Series, they will be starting where they finish in this next 20-minute heat race. So it's wherever you see your driver right now. We still do have just about 5 minutes to go in the race. So still anything can happen. And well, you just saw it there. We were riding on board with the driver. Goes around just a little too much speed, or a little. You could call it even an overreaction of Lairon in front, but I mean, what else can you do? And here's another spin for our leader. There is an overreaction as I am talking about it. Sean and Tater curse. Here comes Ido Tal is still 12 seconds back. Ignacio Glumpster probably, I don't even know. Oh, hop on board. We'll see what Ignacio saw there, as I believe that was Tomir who had gone around right in front of Ignacio. Right as I had mentioned, just possibly an overreaction to what you had seen. Let's take a look and right on board with Ignacio here. Oh, yep. It's whether it's steering input or whether it's tried to, I don't know, just get the car to do something that it didn't want to do for Ignacio there. It's unfortunate that, well, the gap is now cut down to, it's unfortunate for Ignacio the gap is cut down to Ido Tal. Now 4.8 seconds, but I think it's great for everybody else watching here on IIL and the SSN YouTube channels. Once again, I appreciate every single one of you joining in here. Just 4 minutes to go left in this race. Ido is now, the gap is now continuing to grow even further. That's another driver off the track, and Rotem Lev heading now into the pits as well. That's Birdie Galili who was going off board. And I think Rotem Lev just had a drive-through penalty there. I didn't see any stop that he had to make. Here's Birdie's incident that we saw in the kind of background of the screen. Just goes to show how tough this track is. I do an awful job, to be honest, at trying to convey to our viewers at how tough it is to keep even an LMP3 machine here. A car that we do tend to associate to have more grip than others on the service here of iRacing, because of the aero and the front downforce, the big rear wing and diffuser really helps keep these cars glued to the track. But in some cases, it can just you try to fight for that extra tenth or two, and well, really that's all it can take. Probably 3 laps to go if my math is right. Don't quote me on it though, math was not my major. Ooh, here's an incident with Ofer going around. Ofer Mazuz, this is in and coming out of the corkscrew, gets right back on the racing line. Probably has his relative up, is able to see next driver back. Rotem Cats 2 seconds back. Let's take a look at first Ofex and then Ofer's incident here. So Ofex driver, that 21. Oh, the same corner, and I wonder if here comes Ofer Mazuz. Oh, contact! Almost. Well, he does take flight 4 tires off that racing surface. Let's take one more look at it. Oh, that was a big one here. Here comes Ofer. Nowhere to go. So Ofex just gets it rolling right on the racing surface. Boom! Heavy contact. All 4 tires off the racing surface. Call that pilot's license given to Ofex Drabinski there. This is our closest battle on track at the moment. Rotem Cats now got the spot. Got P6 back working on now trying to get Rodem Lev. Well, I don't think so, because now that gap, oh, possibly so. Rodem Lev a little slow on the track. The 404 gap continues to cut down. It was 15 seconds last time I saw it. Now it's just 5.5. Wonder if there is some damage on that 404 machine. Gap is still shrinking to Rodem. Cats behind, and this is big within the points, because we'll look at the point standings right after our first heat here. But as we continue to get closer towards the end of the season in silver, also gold, they're linked up there, but it's every single point can and will matter, as we have seen in the ILAKA Esports IIL iRacing Series before. It will come down to the nitty-gritty. Here comes Rodem Cats continuing to close the gap now. What was 15, we're now looking at 2.7. White flag is out here. Ignacio just has to make his way around the 11-turn, 3.6-kilometer track. Ignacio, what pace we have seen, but will he have enough in this next heat race for both Rodem Levs and Rodem Cats? These drivers were I believe had our fastest laps in practice, as well as this first heat race. Once again, we're going to have another heat race, the Silver Series, right after this, and then we'll bring in those gold drivers. Idotal, if he can keep this up right now, just needs to complete probably 2.5 more kilometers at this point from Laguna Seca for our first heat race. Ido, this is going to help you out in the points, as well as Ido finished P5 at Silver Heat Race number 1 just a week ago at Spa. If we all remember right, I mean, come on now. Ignacio, he took the sweep a week ago in Silver Series, both Heat Race 1 and Heat Race 2. Just needs to get down back around 4 more corners to go for Ignacio. And could we be seeing one more sweep? That would be 4 races in a row. 1 for a driver in the Silver Series. Ignacio, he's going to make it look good. Should be coming to the checkered flag this time by. It is out. Ignacio Glumster, congratulations. You're going to take heat race number 1, run away with it with a 7.3 second gap, winning even after a spin. Here comes Idotal taking P2 in heat race number 1. Larion Shooter here at P3, gaining 3 spots on the start of the race. Watch for this white ILAKA LMP3 driver number 34, this next restart here. Here comes Itzik Grossman to complete and solidify P4. This is special because Itzik finished, P4 in heat race number 1 just 2 weeks ago at Spa. Rodem Lev, not the race he was looking for here tonight, but he will have the pace. Will he have the patience? And heat race number 2 for Silver, he'll bring it home P5. Rodem Cats chasing him for P6. Looks like they will all come to the start-finish stretch here, all clean, no problems. Matvey, he's going to be glad to start on a new set of Michelin Racing tires, because I don't think there was much left in the set he's on here. He was fighting this thing. I mean, just about every corner I saw Matvey. Nice finish, though, for him. Going to bring it home P7. Ofer Mazuz, Ofer Drabinski, Topher, Mini Land, Bertie Galili, and Erza Rafael rounding out our drivers for heat race number 1. And that will be the next starting grid. It's not going to be like Gold Series, where we will have that top 10 inversion after our first heat. We're going to line them up right as we finished, and let's take a point. Let's take a look at the points This was heading into Laguna Seca. We can see here, Rodem Cats was he had the lead in the points, 53 over 41 for Ignacio, but with this another win for Ignacio Glumster, Rodem Lev right there with him, Bertie Galili P4. I think we could start to see that driver Ignacio possibly make his way to a lead in the points for Silver. This is our second heat race here tonight, so I appreciate everybody joining in for it. We're going to get these cars moving, grooving, and rolling. Just a little short pace lap here today. see the start lights on the top of your screen. Here we go into the final turn. Ignacio Glumser, Ido Tao. The field will be in your hands. We saw a huge wreck on our first one. We are now getting away a little cleaner this time by, but Ignacio with another huge jump is now, here's the jostling that we saw. Another incident happened at the start of this one. Wasn't near as big as that first heat race though. Here we're going to head too wide into turns 1 and 2. That is the all-white Birdie Galili involved. That's Ofer Mazuz, Ofek Drabinski also involved. You hate to see that. Lap 1 of the race. We'll cut back to the race lead for right now as Ignacio Glumser has another massive jump. But we're going to see these drivers, Ido Tao, Leon Shooter. Rodem Lev has also had his clean start. Will we start to see Rodem close the gap within these drivers, just like we saw in heat race number 1 for silver? There's a nice battle heading into the corkscrew. It's a tough spot to pass, but Rodem says, hold my drink here. Well, as a matter of fact, gotta think better of it. I don't hate that, Rodem, living to fight another day after another wild, wild restart. Gold drivers, if you are watching, keep that in mind. The restarts, both of them today, have been extremely crazy here today in Silver Series. Ignacio Glumser, Ido Tao, Leron Shooter, 1, 2, 3. Rodem Lev right now running P4. Heading into our double apex turns 1 and 2. This is Leron Shooter having himself a really nice start, able to hold off that P3 where he did start. And while we have a quick second here, let's take a look at Drabinski's incident. This is right off the drop of the green flag, heading into turns 1 and 2. And Ofek there, he's on the inside. Oh, just car loops around on him. Contact with the 422, bringing Ofer Mazuz right there with it. This is back out to our battle for the final podium spot. Leron Shooter, Rodem Lev, P3, P4. Rodem already up a spot on today's race. It's you have your sections to pass here at Laguna Seca. This corkscrew right here, definitely not one of them, but we have seen some drivers try and shove it down in there, and matter of fact, some of them make it work, some of them turn into airline pilots, as we have had one driver today already lift all 4 tires off the racing surface. Here is a great battle for P12 overall, heading around the left-hand carousel, gonna have to set up the right-hander. Mini lands right now, the driver, the 77, trying to hold off the Ofer Mazuz, who was involved in that lap 1 incident. Hopping on board with Mini here. He has a little bit of clean air to work with in front of him. I mentioned this earlier in heat race number 1 for Silver Series. If you are running, the closer you get to running behind an LMP3 machine in front of you, you don't have that clean air to work with, and that's could be kind of what I mentioned there, possibly just contact with the inside gravel patch for Ofer Mazuz. Around he goes again for the 422. The car will just continue to build to its tight condition as you don't have the clean air to work with over the nose and underneath the car, under that rear diffuser, and also across the huge rear wing. Rodem Katz is leading what you would call a little slipstream train right here. Katz, Drabinski, Merman, Raphael for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th on track. Oh, that's Matt Vey. He had a slight tire lockup. He goes into the outside concrete barrier. Hopefully not too heavy damage there for Matt Vey, and I could have saw one other car there involved. Let's hop on board with Matt Vey and see if we possibly can hear a lockup. I mean, I don't even think that was a lockup there, just too much speed into the corner, and he had nowhere to go except for the gravel trap there for Merman. Going to get back on track though, head down into turns 1 and 2. He's dropped now down to P11. Oh man, Matt Vey, this happened to him in the first heat race too. The tires, once they start to accumulate that gravel, you just continue to lose grip, and I mean, they're probably just begging for mercy even this early into the run. Just no grip for these Michelin tires for Matt Vey. He's going to keep things rolling forward, though. Ignacio, we could, as we're rewriting the iRacing history books right here, Ignacio 2 weeks ago, Spa, silver, heat race 1, winner. Heat race number 2, winner. Well, Laguna Seca, heat race 1, winner. He's continuing to pull that gap on Ido Tao. Could we be seeing quadruple Glumpshire action here in the Isle, aka Esports Silver Series? My goodness, he will definitely shoot himself to the top of the point standings here in the Silver Series. If he's able to keep this up, that is. I don't want to give the old Sean and Tater curse a little too early on, but I am liking what I'm seeing out of the driver of the number 1 leading the race here. Ido Tao trying to reel in that gap to Ignacio. He's 1.8 seconds gap back right now for Mr. Tao. Liron is there about 4 seconds back to Ido Tao, and that gap still continuing to grow. I bet if we do take, yeah, this is kind of what I was wanting to see here. Looks like Rotem Lev, that lap 1 was a little bit faster, and I think what would better tell the story is the sectors. Looking at those sectors there, sector 1 and 4. That looks like Lev just a little faster here, and then, well, back and forth game. It's slower through 4. We're going to head it back through 1 again here as he continues to reel in that driver of the P3 spot. Final podium spot, also final driver interview spot for our Silver Series. So huge lockup for the front left of Shooter there. That's going to present Rotem Lev to continue to reel in, close that gap. What was a second and a half, now down to just 3/10. If these drivers do start to battle just a little bit too much, start to get some side-by-side action between these two, we could have Grossman start to reel his way back in. He's only 4 seconds back from them right now, but you can definitely start to see them in the distance, and the gap is starting to visually shrink between Grossman and Lev. Is now hopping on the back bumper of Shooter here, looking at Rotem Lev. This is a game of cat and mouse at upwards of 220 kilometers an hour. We're going to slow it all the way down, probably 30 kilometers an hour here. Going to complete lap 7, coming to lap 8 here, excuse me. We're almost halfway. I'm going to treat you guys one more crank it up, and I'll be right back up here in the booth, bring you the end of this Silver Series race. Crank it down, boys. Contact between Rotem Lev and Liron goes around as well. That was the fight. That was the close battle for P3. Unfortunately, happened while we're on board on our crank it up, and we'll have to take a better look and see what happens here. It looks like Liron just got a little bit wide, but it definitely be a better look here from our outside camera shot. This is that's Rotem down the outside, and just not enough room left between them. Heavy contact. The back side pod goes flying up in the air there for a second. Unfortunate for those two drivers involved. I'll take one more look at it here and possibly slow it down. This is, once again, Lev down the outside, and it's really not a corner where you'd want to be making a pass in, but although I know you have places to be right now if you're Lev, I'm not throwing you under the bus at all. I would be right there with you trying to make it work down the outside, and just the unfortunate left hand little jolt at the last second is what sends Lev and Shooter around. Also, while we're looking at this incident, we have an incident with Matthew Merman. Not Matt, Jesus, Matvey Merman. Sorry about that. No, he just pulls it down off the racing circuit, going to tow it to the pits. We'll cut back on live here. This is with Rodem Lev. He's able to get back to P5. This is right where Rodem started the race. Our biggest mover right now, Erzat Rafael. He is up 6 spots in his purple number 86 LMP3 machine. Erzat Rafael has great pace here tonight from Laguna, as well, putting it up to P7. Vinny lands here. He's up at +3 spots in the driver of number 77, all white ILAKA Esports. Vinny, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. He's having himself a really nice run all the way up to P8, and if he continues to have these just consistent runs up and throughout the season, I think he will continue to build on those playoff points. Sean and Tater Kirsch going to strike here once again. Mini land and Birdie Galili both going around. I don't know how many times. What is it? Apologies there for the Sean and Tater Kirsch going to strike again, taking out a driver right as I'm talking about just how good they have been running throughout the season. Mini only loses 1 spot there, I do believe, to Mr. Birdie Galili there. Back to our race leader. Once again, we could be seeing, if you're just now joining us, Ignacio won 2 weeks ago, both the Silver Heat Race 1 and Heat Race 2. Could we be seeing a quadruple Glumsher win here? Able to sweep Spa. Could Ignacio sweep Laguna Seca as well? Could this even be I think we gotta. After this season here, though Ignacio up with the pro drivers, definitely has the pace stretching out. That was last time I saw was a 3.5 second gap, now 4.5. He's working 5 seconds over Ido Tal. Ido, not to mention, he's also having himself an immaculate run here tonight. Driver of the number 6 LMP3 has the clean air to work with, just trying to tick down these last few laps. Just 8 minutes to go left here in the Silver Series. Itzik Grossman, nice start for him. He's gained 1 spot since the start of the race. Driver of the number 3 LMP3. Looking at where Itzik finished in heat race number 2. Back there from Spa. He finished in P5, so he's headed in the right direction. Also going to continue to gain those much valuable playoff points. Rodem Katz, man, one of our fastest drivers in here in practice. Unfortunately, down to P4. I say unfortunately because definitely he was wanting a little bit better run for himself here tonight, but I think we'll be happy regardless. Rodem Lev, same story there. Fast in practice, fast in qualifying. He's going to get back right to where he started this heat race number 2 for Silver Series, right back to P5. Here comes Mr. Drabinski, that driver, the 21 LMP3, up 3 spots on the today as well. Here's a nice battle we have on our hands. Neeland and Ofer Mazuz. Lots of these drivers, buddies, real life, as much racing as they do in the real world, side by side. You get with your buddies here, also in the iRacing universe, and possibly what we are seeing here out of Mini Land and Ofer Mazuz. These drivers very similar on pace, both their last lap times very similar, as well as once again. Oh man, Sean and Tater Kirsch striking again here. Same corner. Mini's going to pull it down into the pits. Here comes the leader, and I don't blame Mini there. That was a tough spot to be stopped, as our leader was working his way down into the corkscrew, not wanting to take any hard work away out of Ignacio Glumsher. All these drivers showing us just what it takes to get around Laguna Seca. And man, it is no easy task. Ido Tal, he's pushing right now, guys. The gap it's remaining constant, about that 4.5 second gap right now. I don't know if you want to be pushing, though. We just saw what happens if you overstep the boundaries just a few meters, even too deep into the braking zone, and we definitely see you going around. But the gap It's as Ido has to work their way around Matvey Merman here, a lapped car that's just going to continue to make its reeling in the leader just ever so tougher. Matter of fact, you see the flash of the headlights there from Ido Tal, trying to say, Matvey, I got places to be here. We'll hop on board with Ido and see how he works his way around to this lap traffic. Got Victor here in YouTube chat saying, Vamos, Ignacio. Yes, sir. He's running away with it here. Oh, my goodness. We're rewriting the iRacing history books. The sim racing history writes itself. And, man, only 4.5 minutes to go here from Laguna Seca, California, the other side of the world. I'm bringing you coverage. You know, most of the viewers here, Israel iRacing fans, as well as that's ILAKG Esports. We have many of these drivers. Matter of fact, lots of these drivers doing so much real life racing with one another. Ignacio, if you're not there in the real life world with these guys week in, week out, we might have to get you there. Or if you are, man, be sure to show me your driving pictures, because we have lots of drivers. I know Mini Land over there in the Instagram world loves to show off his racing equipment, as well as I think he was in a Miata, an MX-5, just this last weekend. Ido Tal continues to be a, well, he hasn't passed Matvey Merman. I think I've called Matvey Matthew again. Much apologies there. I don't know where that comes from. But Ido Tal, RP2 driver, continues to try and work their way around Matvey Merman. Matvey, that's P13 driver today. We're heading into our toughest section of the track, the corkscrew. It is a drop 10 stories deep. That is a front lock up there, as here comes Ido Tal. You got to be careful working your way around this lap traffic as more gravel is deposited on the racing circuit. Ido now is able to finally work past the lap traffic, but gets his way down to 8.5 second gap. What was just 4.5 last time by. There's Rafael going around. We'll take a look at his incident. That looked like Matvey Merman. Oh, another one. We were just talking about it. The most treacherous treacherous section in the track. This corkscrew just a little too deep. Back around goes. What am I trying to say? Around the back goes. Jesus. There we go. It only took me 3 tries. Hang with me here, and I'm getting it all just settled and ready for the Gold Series. Gold Series drivers, if you're watching, these restarts have been crazy. So it's going to be pretty kind of crazy as well with that top 10 inversion with Gold Series. It's the race winner of heat race number 1 for Gold will start 10th, and so on and so forth through that field. It's going to be pretty tight through that double apex turns 1 and 2 for Gold Series, but we should be coming to the white flag. I think Ignacio will make it official. He's only got 3.6 kilometers to go. One more way around. That is only 11 turns. Oh, this could be good. Matter of fact, it could be even 2 more laps. That was really close on the timing and scoring. I didn't see any white flag being thrown, so this could be even. What is that, 8? Just damn near 8 kilometers to go. That would be 22 turns to make his way around for the baby blue and orange number 1 driver. Also the lap traffic. You never know what can happen right there in front of you, and it's if it happens too close there in front of you, hopefully you got the reaction time to avoid it. Remember, heat race number 1, Ignacio spinning on that last lap or 2. Was able to retain the lead with the gap he made. There is, I believe that is Tomer given the point by there. Excellent sportsmanship from these drivers. Now you can really see the elevation change take place, and there's Rafael once again just giving another point by. That was this time through Ignacio Glumser, our race leader, so definitely cannot fault him there. Ignacio Glumser, this should be the white flag. Yes, you see Barney waving it with all of his might. 11 turns to go, 3.6 kilometers for Ignacio Glumser. Ido Tal, he's cut the gap now down to 6.5 seconds as Ignacio had to work his way around the lap traffic, but now Ido Tal will have to do the same exact thing if he is able to get ever so closer. That's Urza Rafael right there in front of him. Gap 6.5 seconds, not shrinking at all. Ignacio continuing to run away with it. Could have the quadruple Ignacio Glumser sweep. Don't want to speak too early here, though. We have seen already time and time again. That's that track map coming up in the bottom right. Just about halfway to go. 1.5 kilometers for Ignacio Glumser, going to head down the tricky corkscrew. Could even lift a few hundred meters too early here. Just a couple more, call it 5 more turns to go here from Laguna for Ignacio to settle this, make it all official here for the Silver Series in the ILAKA Esports IIL, brought to you by Stam Studio Network. Ignacio Glumser will make it official this turn by. Congratulations on the quadruple sweep. Sweeping Spa 2 weeks ago, gonna sweep Laguna Seca. Oh man, I'd be loving to hear Ignacio right at the end of this race. Here comes Ido Tal to solidify P2, make that one official. Itzik Grossman with a nice battle between Rotom Katz. Itzik, he just has his weight. One more turn to go. Yes, he will make it happen. Rotom Katz P4 on the day. Here comes Rotom Lev down the outside, not able, or excuse me, that's Itzik Grossman on Rotom Katz for P3. Rotom not able to make the outside work. Ofek Drabinski working his way around for P5. Rotom Lev, Birdie Gilidi, Ofer Mazuz, Urza Rafael, Liron Shooter, Tomer, Miniland, Matt Vey, Merman are drivers tonight, finishing Heat Race number 2 for Silver Series. Stick right with us. I'm going to bring you some Gold Series racing right here. Same broadcast. Just going to be a little bit of intermission time. Also, going to have those driver interviews. Ignacio, Ido Tal, Itzik Grossman. If you are listening, be sure make your way to some driver interview booth there on Discord. I'll be sure to find you. I'll be right back here on Stam Studio Network. Alrighty, I am down here in Victory Lane with the man, the myth, the legend at this point. Ignacio, you got yourself a coffee, man.
Thank you. The car felt incredible, and the track had a lot of grip, so it was fun.
Man,
hello guys.
Hello, man, Ignacio. Both restarts there, you were able to just pull away from the field pretty much instantly on the race start, and then chaos ensued behind you both times, both race starts. Ignacio, who makes it all happen for you here tonight? Who are we shouting out?
Well, I was waiting a lot of time because the races ended pretty late the past times. But I wanted to say hi to my family in Uruguay, everyone there, my friends here and my family here in Israel. Thank you very much, everyone. So yeah, I'm very happy.
Gosh, I would be too. It's pretty crazy what we've started to see here for you, Ignacio, and best of luck going into the race, 2 weeks from now, and hopefully gets 6 races won in a row. That would be pretty crazy.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Thank you, Ignacio, and have a great rest of your night. I know it's late over there. Man, don't celebrate too hard.
Yeah.
Ido Tal, you got yourself a coffee coming on P2.
Yeah, it was actually a great race. It's hard here, but it's great race.
Man, Ido, it was fun trying to watch, or it was fun watching you try to reel in Ignacio, both the Heat Race 1 and Heat Race number 2. Ido, who are we shouting out? Who makes this all possible for you to come out and race with us?
Shout out to the league, I think, would make it possible and makes this the league is mixed with the people and make a lot of effort in this to train and become faster. And thanks for everybody who's take part of this.
Well, thank you, Ido. It was great fun to watch up here in the booth, and congrats on your podium finish here tonight. And I guess I could say the same thing. Don't celebrate too hard.
I won't. Don't worry.
Oh, congrats once again, Ido. We're gonna move down to Itzik and then going to get going here for the Gold Series on the same broadcast. Itzik, you got yourself a copy.
Yeah, I have to say, there were some fast drivers out there today, much faster than me, so my strategy was just to keep my head down and, collect the accidents, and it worked out that way.
Goodness gracious. I mean, you had some pretty respectable lap times there as well. Goodness, it was pretty crazy on those race restarts as well. What was it like from your point of view, Itzik?
Yeah, it was just about avoiding the chaos and, hoping that I won't be a part of it too much. It's a challenging racetrack, and, I was sure that there was going to be a lot of incidents. So it was all about keeping it clean.
No, it's pretty well said there, because everything happens at just about Mach 2 in front of you. It's crazy to kind of keep track of these LMP2s behind the wheel, but congratulations once again on your podium finish here at Itzik, and have a great rest of your night.
Thanks very much. Thank you, Sean.
Alrighty, that's going to do it, but stick around on this broadcast. We're going to bring a couple ads, a quick intermission, and bring you the Gold Series right here on Stam Studio Network, also in the IL aka Esports YouTube channel. This has been Sean Stam up here in the booth, also directing, commentating, producing. I'll be right back here with you guys.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Real quick, just love to shout out our sponsors here before we kick off racing for the Gold Series. Got DRS Drive and Ride Simulations, as well as GRIIP. Get those iRacing gloves, as well as any other equipment that you'd like. Maybe help you get some tenths up there on the track. I know GRIIP helped me out as well. So good luck, Gold drivers, before we get coverage started off. We'll cut back to stream starting screen, and I'll be right with you guys here in just a few moments' time. Thank you. Good evening, race fans. It is time. The Gold Series about to show us all how it's done. Man, it's IIL, ILAK Esports live on Stam Studio Network, as well as the IIL YouTube channel. I appreciate every single one of you joining in here today for some coverage of what was the Silver Series just 2 heat races ago. Now we will bringing you 2 heat races of the Gold Series. It's going to be a blast here at the Elevation Hungary 11-turn 3.6 kilometer track here from California. Bringing up the race information, it could be a better day for it here. Got silver, well, this is the Gold Series. Track temp looking at 36 degrees Celsius. Couldn't be a better day for it. And there you see in the top left of that track map, keep in mind the corkscrew here tonight. It was a blast there in silver, we could call it. I think it's going to be even more fun here in the Gold Series as we'll take a look at our starting grid here tonight, brought to you by Stam Studio Network. Looking like Reuven, Yuval Merrick, Alon Gabay, Yossi Gabay, then Arnon Levi, Omri Farag, Dima, Iran, Gilead, Ido, Tomer Ventura, Tal Stern, Rancesoni, Mark Zubarev rounding out our field here tonight. So I try and, man, what in the... Okay, 1 second here while I try and get this all sorted really quick. This is going to be, we saw Reuven finish their P1 2 weeks ago from Gold Race number 1 in Spa. That was, Reuven just lights out pace for that driver, and we could possibly be seeing the same thing today. As if you guys were watching the Gold Series race, Ignacio, he swept Spa just 2 weeks ago, and now he swept Laguna Seca, the Silver Series. Could we be seeing something similar happen here as Reuven? He did win Gold Race number 1. He came away with second place there in Gold Race number 2 out at Laguna Seca. So going to have to, we'll have to see where things kind of cycle themselves out. It's going to be a blast of racing here tonight on Stam Studio Network, as well as IIL, ILAKA. My name is Sean Stam, and once again, I appreciate everybody joining in here tonight. As we get this race ready to be kicked off, here we go. Green flag is just a few moments away. Reuven, the field is in your hands. We are getting this thing kicked off. We're going to go side by side for P2. Also P3 back there, as well as the lime green machine makes a dive bomb into turns 1 and 2. Goes a little bit wide, not able to hold off there as there comes dark blue driver on the outside of turns 3 and 4 now, as I'm trying to get these graphics all pulled up for us here, as looks like Reuven Yuval Merek 1-2, Alan Gabay P3. Reuven Yuval Alan, Yossi Gabay makes his way up to P4, Arnaud Levi P5, Omri Farag P6, Gilead Heskia there P7. As I am working on getting these graphics back up on screen, we are heading now up and down through the corkscrew. This is Ido Balstan, Aaron Deliski, Tomer Ventura, 8th, 9th, and 10th, making it all work through the corkscrew. Real quick, you might have to join us back on Sam Studio Network and hop away from the IIL YouTube stream. Get graphics up on the screen. I'm going to have to stop and restart the stream really quick. It will be the same one there on Sam Studio Network. It might pop back up here on IIL YouTube channel as well, just depending on how they have. Alrighty, believe that is everything all set. I severely apologize for those technical difficulties there. Graphics just disappearing away, but had to do something to get them back. Was not about to run the whole race without them. And Cha-Cha, Reuven makes his way up out front. Yuval Merek P2, Alan Gabay P3, Yossi Gabay still P4, so we have not missed much as far as the top 3 and 4th running drivers go. Arnaud Levi, I was watching while having these technical difficulties at the corner of my eye, saw some nice runs, as well as right before we did have those technical difficulties, the start between Arnaud Levi and Omri Farag there, Arnaud and Yossi Gabay, the side-by-side heading into turn 1. We're going to continue to see more of that as we head into heat race number 2 for Gold Series. Everybody that is now making their way back into the stream, once again, I do apologize, as I think the IIL stream ended up going down. Still up here on Stam Studio Network and have not missed much as far as this this restart has gone. Rancesoni makes his way up to P6, however. P7 on class. We've seen this week in and week out from Rancesoni, and I believe we do have the driver cams for Ran as well. Ran on the bottom of the screen and those driver cams, making his LMP to try and stick to the track as best as he can. What feels like vacuums underneath these machines, it can go away in an instant. You get that air disrupted from either the car in front of you or, you hit a rumble strip just the wrong way, and it can definitely send you around. But not seeing that today so far out of Ran. He is trying to fight the car just a little bit with those steering inputs, possibly keeping it from going around. But right now sitting P7 for Ran. So far having himself a good start. Speaking of good start, we saw this right here before the quick technical difficulties in the stream. This is Yossi Gabay, Arnaud Levi. These drivers were going at it side by side into lap 1, turns 1 and 2. That double left-hander apex we were just making our way out of there. And, well, Arnaud, he lost the spot, maybe even a little point by to Yossi there, but do not count out Arnaud as he is continuing to close that gap. It was just over a second. He's got it now down to 0.8 of a second. Hopping on board with Arnaud here, probably the toughest, the rumble strip that you have to take a bite out of there through the kink and then heading up through the corkscrew. This is just a really, really tough portion of the track, not even on the driver, but also on the equipment. Arnaud Levi having himself a nice run here tonight. Yossi Gabay is as well, up to P4 he goes. Cannot talk about a good night without talking about Reuven Cha-Cha leading us in the points. Reuven winning gold race number 1 2 weeks ago. They're out at Spa. And we'll have to look at those pro points here when we do have a second, because Cha-Cha is in the lead of those points, and this could be just Reuven starting to pull away even further from that pack. taking a look at those points up here now, and man, none other. Come on. Cha-Cha, 53 points up on Yuval Merrick, and then ran their sitting P3. Yossi Gabay, Gilead Heskia, Arnon Levi, Mark Zubarev, Iran, and then Ido Balstan rounding out those top 10 in the Gold Series points. Yuval Merrick, he's having himself a nice run here tonight, sitting P2. No driver cam for Yuval here tonight. Ooh, that's a driver going off the track there right in front of Yuval. I think that's Ido Balstan. Unfortunately, drops down to P15, going off the track into the corkscrew. But back to Yuval Merrick here. He's, matter of fact, okay, well, how do I say this? Not regarding the technical issues earlier. I feel like the broadcast for IIL, the ILAKA Esports, everybody over there at the Israel side of things, I really appreciate things. And I was trying to say, how do I word this? Because Yuval here, he made this happen for me, everybody there. And he got me hooked up with Tal and Ilian there behind the scenes. And we continue to bring you guys coverage of the Silver and Gold Series races week in and week out. I really appreciate it. Yuval, for kind of shouting my name out there and kind of making this all come together. There you see a website linked in his driver info. Okay. Don't quote me on it, but okay, you might want to hit up the old drive-art.co. Is that just IL? Okay. Alan Gabay, he's sitting P3 today as he was fighting off Yossi Gabay, and that's different spells right there. That's 2 B's for Alan, and then Yossi there, P4, just 1 B for him. Yossi having himself a really nice run. That's number 17, a very vibrant lime green LMP3 machine. Arnon Levi sitting P5 today on the track, and, well, he's having himself just a nice run, able to find a little slot in a little cleaner air, able to get the car to rotate. Not too much tight condition I have seen for the driver number 39, LMP3. Arnon keep it going strong there. Omri, P6, that driver, the 997, up to P6 on the charts. And Ryan Sassoni, he is still sitting P7, has not passed Omri here just yet. Aaron Delitsky also having himself a nice run as gaps are starting to kind of show themselves in this Gold Series. We don't really see it happen often too much, but Laguna Seca, kind of the short track, the elevation hungry road course that it is, it'll keep these drivers close enough. Tal Stern close enough to Iran, just 0.6 of a second separating these two drivers, and hopping on board with Tal here now, heading up and down the roller coaster that is the corkscrew. Oh, Sean and Tater Curse. Tal's going to save the Sean. My goodness, that could have got well, a little bit scary there coming out of the corkscrew. Tal able to hang on to her somehow, some way. Just drops 1 spot back to P9. Mark Zubarev here sitting P10 today. Mark having himself a really nice run. Also, the paint scheme that we can't ever miss, that Red Bull 030 LMP3. For Brom, the 325, all white, ILAKA on that LMP3 machine down in P11. He's up 4 spots since the last time I last checked on him, or having himself a nice run. Not a nice lockup, though, out of that front left. Going to make, upset that tire temperature, also the tire pressure there just a little bit. iRacing doesn't model the old the lockups here just too well, but I will say it's well enough to where we can kind of make it a point within the broadcast. And bringing up the weather on the right side of the screen, I mean, the track temp is continuing to rise here. The worn out asphalt on these Michelin racing tires that continue to build up pressure and temp. You could possibly see, oh, well, I was about to say some handling issues, but no, the way that Tal, has set up this track here tonight, 20 degrees Celsius, 31 degrees Celsius track temp. That's That's pretty fair for these drivers tonight. Oh, Iran Delitsky's going to go around. He gets it back going, though, but I am showing in my timings and scoring. Iran here. Let's take a look. Oh, just tries to widen the corner, and then the LMP3 bottoms out there on the sausage curve. Where is the wreck? Is it out of turn 11? It is, but able to lock it down. And I've said wreck. No, that's just it's just slight spin. Iran able to keep things going as we'll jump back on board here with Omri. Omri having himself a really nice run here tonight, the driver of the 997. Rancesoni there, driver of the number 43, sitting right there right behind Omri. Do we see a move here out of Ran down into the corkscrew? Oh, looks down the inside. This is not a pass or a part in the track we typically see passes made. Ran able to dive down the inside, makes it stick. Call that P6 now for Ran, but he's got 5.5 seconds to go on Arnon Levi. Cha-Cha still out here up in the lead, showing us how it is done in our first heat race of the Gold Series. Remember, we'll have another heat race right here with us right after this, and that top 10 will be inverted, you best believe. So stick around with us, and we could possibly be seeing Reuven make his way from P10. Well, we'll have to see how it happens, and just if there are any wrecks like we did see in the Silver Series, both heat race number 1 and heat race number 2. There were some pretty big incidents involving quite a few drivers. We were able to make it work. So is Yuval out here P2 right now, down to 3.7 second gap under Reuven. He's got 1.5 seconds over Alan Gabay, however, for P3. They're holding off that P3 spot. Is Alan Gabay. Yossi Gabay there. Also right behind him, just 9 second gap. No, that's not a small gap at all. Y'all see that lime green, very vibrant ILAKA esports and karting paint scheme. That's a hard one to miss as he's going to scream down the front stretch here once again. This is 14 minutes down in our first 20-minute race, and I see that the graphics timing and scoring, it's still having itself a little bit of a blunder there, we can call it. But I will do my best to keep you updated on time. Just coming to the 15th minute now. 5 minutes to go in our first heat race for Silver Series. Reuven, Yuval, Alon, Yossi, Arnon, Levi making P5 work here tonight. Rancesoni still here, P6 after that really nice pass on Omri Farag there into the corkscrew, somehow able to make it stick. And right now, I'm actually showing Arnon Levi, the number 5, had an incident of their own. We'll take a look at it here. I believe this is the last sector of the... Yep, coming into turn 11 here. Oh, this is the same incident that we saw. Yeah, that was Arnon just locking it down last time, and then here comes... Oh, that looks a little separate that time. Same corner, separate incident. Ooh, Tal Stern running off the track. He's able to get it back going. Oh, no, he's not, though. I'll take that back. Tal taking his way down to the pits. What has just happened with Tal? He went off the track once, twice, call it thrice here. Here's a replay of it. Kind of through the kink there where you want to force your issue as much as you can. Try and carry as much speed as you possibly can. Unfortunately, just a little bit too much there for Tal. Runs wide. Cutting it back out to the race leader. 16.5 minutes out of our first 20-minute heat. Yuval Merrick sitting P2, Alan Gabay P3, Yossi Gabay P4, Alon Levi P5 right now. Ran still 6th, Omri Farag 7th as he tries to reel in. Ran here just a little bit. Iran Delitsky is running P8. Mark Zubarev dropped back to P9 as that's an 11-second gap there, sitting to P8 to Iran Delitsky up there in front. Here's Dima right now holding off Or Braum for P10, and right now it's pretty much the pole position spot, right? Because in 3-4 minutes time, when we do get the checkered flag, once again, I apologize, it's not showing up in the top left there. That is when we're going to get the infamous top 10 inversion. Dima, if he's able to hold off P10 right now and not even gain P9 over Mark Zubrev for the valuable playoff points here, or championship points, it's gonna be close, because even if you are Mark Zubrev or Dima, work your way up to P9, you'll start right there on the side of our race leader. Iran Delitsky, who is running P8, will have a nice start in heat race number 2 if he's able to keep this up here for himself. Omri Farag still sitting P7 and Ran still sitting P6. The gaps are starting to grow, except here between Mark Zubrev and Dima. Real quick, I'm going to treat you guys to a crank it up. I'm going to try and get this graphics here handled behind the scenes. Enjoy the sights and sounds of this racetrack with just 2 minutes to go. We're going to have to see if Reuven... Matter of fact, we'll save this crank it up here. I'll get the graphics hopefully sorted here in just a minute. But speaking of that minute, just 1 minute to go until we do get that checkered flag for Reuven Cha-Cha. He's continuing to work his way around Laguna Seca. Should be coming to the white flag next time by, if my math is all right. And man, 4.5 second gap there for Yuval. He's able to keep it close enough. But this next restart, the top 10 inversion, is where we're going to see things all kind of come down and cycle out too. Because you could have the pace, but it's all on how able you are able to kind of avoid incidents at the start of the race. It's just a whole different kind of racecraft, and here we're going to see 19 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. White flag is out for Reuven. Just 11 turns, 3.6 kilometers to go to make this all official. Yuval Merrick, same story there. 11 turns to go to make this official for Yuval. Alan Gabay still P3, Yossi there P4. This is Dima right behind Mark Zubrev as these drivers fight it out for P9 on track side by side, almost into the corkscrew. Mark Zubrev tries to set up the crossover as Mark is dumping out gravel all over the racetrack. Could possibly be a slowdown for the 030 of Mark, as here we go into the last corner on their white flag, coming to the white flag lap. 11 more chances for Dima to work his way back up to P8, as now Aaron Delitsky is solidified his P8 spot. He's got a 4.5 second gap in front of him, 13 second gap behind. Here comes side by side, heading into turn 1 for the last time in heat race number 1 for Gold Series. Mark Zubrev looks down the inside, takes it, makes it happen over Dima. Here comes Or Braum for P11 on track, as now even more side by side occurring. 2 wide, 2 turns, 3. That's, oh no, that's Dima going around, able to hit reverse, gets it right back going, as here comes Gilead Heska, could possibly have P11. This is for the podium spot next race. Gold race number 2. Mark Zubrev P9 right now. Or Braum P10 right now. Reuven comes across and takes home the checkered flag. Yuval Merrick P2. Alan Gabay P3. Yossi Gabay P4. Rantasoni, Omri Farag, Aaron Delitsky, Mark Zubrev for this first heat race number 1. Here we go. It's going to come down to the last 3 turns on the track in heat race number 1 for Gold Series. Mark Zubrev leading 3/10 over second over Or Braum. Or Braum has one more shot. Shove it down in there. Turn 11. No, not close enough. Or Braum misses out on that the top runner spot here for Gold Race. Congratulations, Or Braum. You will be starting from the pole positions, and congratulations, Reuven Cha-Cha, for winning heat race number 1. Yuval P2, Alan Gabay P3. Those drivers will be starting 10th, 9th, and 8th this restart. Okay, now I'm going to do some behind-the-scenes work here. I'll be right back with you here on STAM Studio Network as we already have these drivers gridding right back up. Alrighty, welcome back here on STAM Studio Network, where, yeah, there's only one stream left here now with technical difficulties ensuing earlier on. Mark Zubrev or Brom, matter of fact, will lead us to the green flag. Or Brom, Omri Farag, Aaron Delitsky, Aaron Levi, Alan Gabay, Yossi Gabay, Yuval Merrick, Ryuvan Cha-Cha, that top 10 with the top 10 inversion. Here we go. Green flag is out, and we are racing from Laguna Seca. This is Orbrom leading us down in turn one. Here comes Mark Zubrev down the inside. Contact with the race leaders. They're going to spin in front of the whole pack as we're going to keep things moving and grooving. Ido Balstan, Gilead Heskia, Yuval Merrick able to make their way through. Ryuvan, where is Ryuvan? Race winner number 1. Ryuvan makes his way up to P6 already after starting P10 out there on track after contact with the 2 race leaders. Omri Farag, Aaron Delitsky, Ran Tassoni make their way up to 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Here comes some 2x2. That's Yossi Gabay now down the inside making his pass work on Yuval Merrick. We're going to work side by side into the corkscrew. This is a little risky here, fellas. Single file in it back out, heading up into the corkscrew here tonight. Leading is Omri Farag. What a race start, able to miss the snowball. The avalanche effect. Too wide. Are we going to look? No, thankfully not. Single filing it back out and down the corkscrew once again. This is Yossi Gabay. Yuval Merrick right on his back bumper. Yuval has places to go as he is now down the inside, call it the outside in turn 10. Almost contact between the 2 drivers. Here comes turn 11, side by side for Cha-Cha here up in front as he works his way down in front of Arnon Levi. Cha-Cha running away from Yuval Merrick after taking away race win number 1, starting P10 with the top 10 inversion. Omri Farag continuing to lead this Gold Series heat race number 2. Aaron Delitsky, Alan Gabay, P2 and 3, and 4th it belongs to Ran Tassoni. Ooh, running wide a little bit for that bright blue Alan Gabay. Matter of fact, it's where you got to find the pace, right? Where else are you going to find it unless it is there off the track or right within the rumble strips? Here comes 2 wide. That's Aaron Delitsky, Alan Gabay. It's for 2nd place here on track. Remember those playoff points I talked about earlier. I brought it up in heat race number 1. It all comes down as we only have 2 races to go after Laguna here today. Alan Gabay still sitting P2. Aaron Delitsky trying to get that P2 as he fights off. Here comes Ran Tassoni down the inside. The corkscrew door quarter clear contact for Ran. Not just clear, call that on the spotter. Ran falls back now down to P10 on track. You hate that for Ran. There was definitely room there between them, but possibly game of centimeters, and unfortunately going to send Ran around down now to P11. We'll have to take another look at that. I thought there was definitely room. Possibly, if you're newer to iRacing, it could be even netcode. Not even contact between the 2 drivers, but there's enough internet going on there, but we got some better stuff going on here. Alan Gabay, Omri Farag, holy battle for the lead. Making it stick in the double apex there in turn 1. Finally got all the graphics, timing, and scoring all working back. Ryuvan Cha-Cha, holy pace out of the driver of the number 1, winning last heat race for Gold Series. After starting P10 with the top 10 inversion, works his way back to P3. Here comes another nice battle for Yossi Gabay. Tomer Ventura has a nice front row view of Yuval now making his way past Arnon Levi. Call that Merrick up to P5. Battle for P2 starting to ensue. Here is our front GoPro shot. Riding on board with Yuvan. Oh, has to check up. He's going to look down the inside, turn 10. As Omri says, okay, man, I'll just give it to you. Take it or leave it, man. Cha-Cha says, I'm going to take it. Here comes Iran Delitsky too wide, heading into turn 11. Banging some side pods. The mirror somehow hanging on. Arnon Levi drops to P6 where he started this race. Iran Delitsky drops to P5. Yuval Murek makes his way up to P4. That's +5 on the race. Alan Gabay putting down our fastest lap of the race so far. Oh, that's a big lock up there out of Yuval Merrick. Somehow able to make it stick there, heading into turn 3 now. Man, we could throw a blanket over 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th here. Yuval, Iran, Arnon Levi, Yossi Gabay. And if you're just now joining in, the dirty air in these LMP3 machines, if you don't have the clean air to work with, say like Alan Gabay leading the race, or even Yuval Merrick leading this kind of slipstream of a pack, the closer that Yuval gets to Omri there in front of him, the tighter his car will get, especially in these faster sections of the track where aerodynamics is so super important over the top end, going across the rear wing as well as underneath the car, the massive rear diffuser. It's sure you want to run as fast as you can here, but I think you kind of want to play chess at upwards of 200 kilometers an hour. We'll hop on board with Arnon Levi and see if he possibly is going to make the move here into turn 1. Not able to make the move happen. Now in turn 1. And, I mean, remember this, guys. 2 weeks ago, second gold race. Alan, he did exactly what we're seeing here. He won. He won heat race number 2 in gold. And my goodness, could we possibly be seeing the iRacing history book start to rewrite themselves with this happen, as well as Ignacio Grimscher sweeping last week at Spa, or excuse me, 2 weeks ago at Spa, and then sweeping Silver Series. Could possibly see a little deja vu action here. As here's Yuval Merrick tries to look down the outside going into the corkscrew of Omri Freg. Matter of fact, just setting up possibly even a little crossover action happen for Yuval. Looks he didn't have enough of a run down the inside. We'll hop on board with Omri here and look at the back of him. Matter of fact, scratch that, as Omri's now going to run wide. Yuval Merrick now to P3. Thank you everybody joining in here, as well as DRS, Drive, Ride, and Simulation, as well as GRIIP, those much needed iRacing equipment there to get you just those extra few tenths, and by equipment I do mean wearables. I'm talking sim racing gloves. Believe me, they will get you those extra tenths. As here comes Arnon Levi, possibly with some GRIIP action happening in his navy blue number 39 LMP3, as he's in the meat of the sandwich here. He's got Yossi Gabay right down his back diffuser, Iran Delitsky right in front. It is a game of centimeters within this next braking zone to not get turned. Or, matter of fact, the Gold Series drivers, they know how to do it. It looks like just a little bit better than I do here. We'll head through the kink and up the hill into the corkscrew. Man, going to complete lap 6, coming to lap 7 this time by, almost halfway in heat race number 2. Ooh, a little bit of accordion checking up effect here for Iran Delitsky. Yossi Gabay now going to close the gap with that accordion effect. Here comes Ido Balstand, that P8 driver. He's up 6 spots since the start of the race, having himself an immaculate run in that number 50 LMP3. No side-by-side heading into turn 11 this time. Ido possibly sacrificing the corner entry to get a better run out of turn 11. A fast straightaway heading into the double apex turn 1 and 2. Here comes Yossi Gabay. Got Iran Delitsky right in front. We're going to head side-by-side. No contact between the two drivers just yet. That's Iran still making the inside work. Yossi Gabe around the outside. He will have the inside into turns 3 and 4 now. Yossi able to make it stick, and real quick, let's take a look at Tomer Ventura Boulevard's incident. Sorry, I had to hit the Ventura Boulevard. That's probably more of a States thing there, but just a little shout out to old Tom Petty action. Here at turn 11, gets a little bit too much speed. The rear is going to lock up, and around the rear end goes. Where he stops, nobody knows except I do. It's the gravel trap. Alon Gabe, Reuven Cha-Cha, Yuval Mirek, all of these drivers with an immaculate restart. Alon up 7 spots, Reuven up 8 spots, Yuval Mirek up 6 spots. And with that top 10 inversion for this Gold Series, it just goes to show this isn't a fluke at this point. I mean, what racecraft, what pace we have for our drivers here tonight. And speaking of a little bit of racecraft, a little bit of pace, Alon Gabe, 5,600 road iRating. I don't think I could ever get close to that. But I bring up the iRating here because Reuven, he's continuing to reel in our leader. Just 10 minutes to go. He's got 2,000 more iRating than him. Reuven, after starting P10, clawing his way through the field, through the avalanche effect, the snowball effect on lap 1. Well, Cha-Cha, he is now within a second of our race leader. Are we going to see something special out of Reuven, or possibly even some contact between Alon Gabe and Reuven Cha-Cha, as we know what these drivers are fighting for at this point? Could we possibly see Yuval Mirek come away and steal a race win? You're just going to have to continue watching here on Stam Studio Network. Once again, apologies for the technical issues that have happened at the start of the Gold Series races. We have them all sorted out now, and unfortunately just down to one broadcast on SSN. Don't have that ILAKA broadcast up. We're still not missing this battle, this great battle for the race lead. Battle of generations to come here between Reuven, Alon. Don't count out Yuval just yet. Remember last time we were talking about it, was 0.8 of a second. It's now dropped down to 0.6 of a second before our race lead. Reuven Cha-Cha still steadily reeling in. Alon Gabe, and this is so reminiscent of 2 weeks ago. Alon, remember, he won heat race number 2, and Reuven, he got P2 in heat race number 2. Reuven, he won race number 1 from Spa 2 weeks ago, and so it's so reminiscent of what we've seen here today from out in California at Laguna. I mean, Reuven winning heat race number 1, could he sweep it here, or are we going to see some deja vu and the exact thing that happened just 2 weeks ago? Reuven winning and then getting P2 and gold race number 2. Showing Iran Delitsky here with a bit of an incident on his own. We'll take a look at it here. Just a little too wide for that driver in the number 4. Around the back end goes, where it stops. That time it was on the track, so no rhyme there, but keeping things all moving and grooving, and it's still, once again, the battle for the lead. It continues to heat up, and if we look at the sector differential between our race leader, it's starting to get down to just the 0.1 of a second here. Matter of fact, yep, there it is. Sector 1 and Sector 2, we're looking at just 0.007. That is 0.007 of a second. Sector 1 differentiating our P1 and P2 driver. Sector 2 separated by just, my goodness, 0.05 seconds. Here comes Sector 3. What is the difference? Right damn near the same with Sector 2. Do not count out Reuven, as he is now 0.3 seconds. The gap has visually, well, it's gone at this point here from Laguna Seca. Just over 7 minutes to go at this point in the race. Cha-Cha right on the back diffuser of that driver, Gabe. Here we go into turn 11. Possibly crossover action. We're going to hang on board with Reuven here. What happens? What transpires here into turn 1? Going to build some speed. Gonna look down the outside for Reuven here. Not the grip that you would imagine. Look at all the gravel. It's a completely different color on the racetrack there. What was black turns to white. Here we have Reuven just over 1 car length separating these two drivers. 13 and a half minutes gone in this 20-minute sprint. Who has what it takes to take away the race win? Oh, a fake! That would have gotten me in my pants. My goodness gracious. Reuven with a massive, quick left-right. Possibly tries to get Alan Gabay looking in his rear view camera. Alan, he's got the 5,000 and a half I rating, call it. Possibly had seen that move before. Alan continuing to lead this time into the corkscrew. No run just yet for Cha-Cha. Continues to run 1 and 2 on track. Reuven tries to run the tighter line this time by scraping the sausage curb. We've seen a few drivers lose it there on turn 9 and 10. We're going to set up turn 11 and head down the start-finish stretch for probably 3-4 times left here tonight. Our closest battle on track right now, and right now we're going to look on the diffuser cam. This is what Alan Gabay sees in his massive rear view camera. This is Reuven looking down the outside, double apex corner, lock up city out of Reuven. Cha-Cha not able to make it stick. I think right now Reuven is just playing with him, possibly seeing what is able to work on the number 15 as Alan Gabay still with a 2/10, call it 3/10 second gap. This is going to come down to a game of centimeters here, folks. 5 minutes left to go in heat race number 2 for Gold Series. Reuven, he sacrifices a little corner entry for the corner exit. That's what I see time and time again. Even in the slower sections like this corkscrew, we'll see that's, well, okay, that time he really sent it there into the entry and kind of lost on exit. So it makes me look like I really know what I'm talking about, right? But see if you can see what I'm kind of mentioning here. Reuven sacrifices there just a little bit and, well, oh God, you did it again. He sent it there into turn 11, so, okay. Right when I start to talk about what I am noticing of the driver of the number 1, completely changes it up, and quite frankly, that's what you have to do at these ratings of 5,000 plus road course I rating for these drivers. You can't be doing the same thing lap in and lap out. Alan Gabay still continuing to lead off Reuven Cha-Cha. Reuven 2/10 of a second gap, and if these drivers start to battle a little bit too much or possibly even contact, do not count out Yuval Merrick. Here we go once again. This time Yuval down the outside, not able to make it work. Door quarter clear for Alan Gabay. Gonna head up and through the kink, and we're gonna have some lapped traffic starting to show themselves as well. Could that possibly be what differentiates our lead drivers here tonight? Or Bram, I do believe, is the driver that is coming up. Ooh, this is going to get down. Oh, heading down the corkscrew here, somehow able to make it work for Reuven Cha-Cha. My goodness, the dirty air, especially the faster speeds on these LMP3 machines. I don't know how he's able to keep this LMP3 machine on the track. He being Reuven with a quick move down the outside, lock-up city there out of Alan Gabay. Is that all it takes for Reuven? We're now going to take a front row seat on this battle for the race lead. There goes the possibly even contact for or Bram now down a lap. No contact yet between the two race leaders side by side, heading into once again that double apex 1 and 2. Alan Gabay has the exit set up, able to retain P1. These drivers now still losing time off Yuval Merrick. Yuval now 6.5 seconds back. Riding on board with Reuven here. He takes a little bit wider entry. I wonder if Reuven's listening to the live broadcast here saying, all right, I'll get some clean air off the front of my nose and splitter. But no, really, there's no second line to run through the kink. You can possibly run a little off camber here through the corkscrew, or off camber, I mean offline. What a sin there out of Reuven Cha-Cha, not able to make it stick for the race lead. Still Alan leading. Guys, Yuval, he's gained a second since I last mentioned it. With this tight battling for the race lead. Could we possibly see a driver steal it away here today? Here's a nice battle. We'll cut to it real quick between Omri Farag, Yossi Gabay heading up and down the corkscrew. That is a 10-story drop. Omri with a 0.4 of a second gap over Yossi Gabay right now for P5 on track. Omri unfortunately heading down pit road, either not enough fuel in the car or too many incidents, and has a pull down pit road penalty, a drive-through there. That's what you call it. Goodness gracious. Anyways, we'll get back to the race lead here. Gabay, Cha-Cha, who do you have there? Let me know down there in YouTube chat with just coming to the white flag this time by. This is 2 laps to go. Who do you have here? Alan Gabay. Reuven is running out of time. Tries to make the outside line work. Not enough run out the exit. We should be coming to 1 lap to go. That will be 3.6 kilometers. Only 11 turns. Out of those 11 turns, I think you only have really 4 or 5 good chances. And now Alan Gabay stretching the gap now to 0.3 seconds. That's as big as we've seen this since our last couple of laps. Barney should be waving the white flag lap, this time with all of his might, and he is. There you see it, bottom right of your screen. It flashed by Barney. White flag is out. What does Reuven have? Does he have anything up his sleeve? As another lockup for our race leader, Alan Gabay. Here we go, last lap on this 3.6, 11 turn track, heading underneath the Firestone Bridge. Now Reuven drops down to 0.4 of a second gap. What was 0.2, it's starting to slowly crawl away for Reuven. This is some deja vu from 2 weeks ago at Spa. After winning heat race number 1 in gold, possibly finishing heat race number 2, he's going to hang right back in the slipstream, heading through the kink and up and down corkscrew for our final time tonight. Gap is now 0.3 seconds. He continues to inch ever so closer. Now 0.2 seconds. Dive bomb city front lockup from Reuven. Not able to make it work or stick. Alan Gabay, the sportsmanship that we just saw, the racecraft out of Reuven, knew it wasn't going to stick, got out of it, able to slow and woe the car down. Last chance for Reuven coming into turn number 11. Coming to the checkered flag. I don't think Reuven's got what it takes, but crossover, here he comes, side by side, heading to the start-finish straight. It's going to be a game of inches. Who has what it takes? Give it to Reuven! Give it to Reuven! Congratulations, Reuven, on conquering Laguna Seca. Sweep! What a game of centimeters coming to the start-finish line. Reuven instantly taking it down to pit road. Alan Gabay doing the same. Yuval Merrick, game of centimeters. Yuval B3, Arnon Levi, Yossi Gabay. I thought Reuven didn't have anything, but he set up turn 11, sacrificed the corner entry. That's what I mentioned earlier in the broadcast. He was sacrificing the corner entry to get the run off. The times I had mentioned it. And then right when I was mentioning it, he changes up the game plan, does Reuven, and kind of sacrifices the opposite. And now we have, oh my gosh, I'm still catching my breath. A Reuven sweep. After an Ignacio sweep, we're going to get some driver some driver interviews here on Sam Studio Network. What a race, what a battle, what a finish between Reuven and Alan Gabay. Coming to turn number 11, here's how it happens. We're going to take 1, 2, 3 looks at it here, and then hear from our top 3 drivers. That's what it was. So Alan Gabay, just a little lockup city. He went a little deep. Here comes Reuven, sacrificing that corner entrance. Side by side, coming it down to the start-finish straightaway, and that's all it takes. A 0.01 second gap for the checkered flag. Congratulations, Reuven. Oh boy, here we go.
איזה מרוץ.
Holy Cha-Cha, you got a copy, man. I'm crying, buddy.
Damn, I need a shower.
Oh my goodness gracious. Walk us through it, man. Turn 11. Even the whole last lap there, you were fighting, Gabay. It's going to come down to just one turn.
I mean, at first, a big shout out to Alon Gabay. He did such great defense. I mean, isn't it clear that he's a race driver? I mean, it's definitely clear. He did a great job. I tried to find the room, but I mean, this track specifically is so hard to pass here. There is no good passing opportunities. The slipstream is not that effective. I mean, it's so technical and so difficult to pass here. So I tried everything in the book, everything, and he did a great job. He has a balls of steel to to be able to keep up for so many laps. I mean, it was so tough, and I mean, I think I was a bit lucky in the end. I mean, I tried to to force him a mistake, and I think that I was lucky with this lockup. It was a great race.
Oh, call it luck, call it skill, call it what you will. I mean, congratulations, Cha Cha. That was crazy. And you even mentioned doing everything in the book. I had noticed that. I had taken note up here in the booth. I had mentioned it up in the broadcast, and well, you switched it up at the last moment when it mattered most. Congratulations, Reuven, on your race win, or your
Thank you
sweep,
very
I'll call
much.
it.
Yeah.
You,
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
man. Before we get going to Alon Gabe there, yeah, that's really special that both you and Ignacio got the sweep here from Laguna. Congratulations once again, Reuven.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty, we're going to cut down to Alon. Alon, you got yourself a copy, man.
Yo, what's up?
Oh my goodness. Well, I feel for you, man. That came down to 0.01 seconds. What was going through your minds there through turn 11 on that last lap?
My heart is broken, to be honest. Next time, we should not lock the wheels, and everything will be fine. Yeah, but mistakes happen, and I think it was a really good race, holding Cha-Cha behind me, the fastest driver, so it was a lot of fun and stress, and at the end I failed, so
No.
it happens. Yeah.
Well, regardless of, I wouldn't even call it a fail, but congratulations on your top two finish here, and we know that you have the pace because you won there in the second race out at Spa 2 weeks ago, so that was really reminiscent of Spa.
Yeah, actually Spa was really nice, without practicing at all, like barely having any practice. This time I was in my house for a long time, so I could train this track a lot, and I really like it. But yeah, it's really tricky, and we have a good competition here, so it's really fun. And I really hope for the next races to keep finishing in top 3 and aiming for the first place as always.
Well, congratulations to you, Alon. Anybody that you'd like to shout out here tonight?
Yeah, for everyone, like this league is, there are a lot of amazing people inside, and I really hope it will get bigger, and just move forward, and shout out to everyone, and let's keep racing.
Thank you, Alon. Congratulations, and man, I hate it for you, but you'll be back here 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, all good, thank you.
Alrighty, Yuval Mirek, you got yourself a copy.
Copy.
Holy cow, man. I bet you're probably watching the relative box wondering what's going on up there. You're going to come away with third place, 6 seconds behind P1 and P2. What was your race like here tonight? And congrats on working your way up to your podium spot after that top 10 inversion.
Thank you. It was hard. I didn't have, quite the pace, but, I made it work.
Definitely did. Reuven got a little bit cleaner start than you, or a little bit better start than you able to get away through the field, and then we had to, you really worked your way really hard up to get P3. Is there anybody who you'd like to shout out to here tonight, Yuval?
Everyone behind the scenes, you guys for broadcasting, and
Well, thank you, Yuval. I briefly touched on this on the broadcast, matter of fact. You're the one that all made this happen, and that kind of to start things off with Tal Stern behind the scenes. So I really appreciate you, Yuval, and congrats on your run here tonight. And I know you're running up there in the points, hopefully able to keep it up in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you.
Alrighty, that's going to do it for our driver interviews. I'm going to bring up those results on your screen here, and then I got to catch my flight back home. But I appreciate everybody once again here joining in on Stam Studio Network, as well as before those technical issues, the IIL YouTube channel. Congrats to Reuven, Alon Gabe, Yuval Merrick once again on your podium finishes. Arnon Levi, Yossi Gabe, Rancesoni, Ido Balstan, Omri Farag, Iran, Mark, Tomer, Gilead, Orr, Dima, and Tal Stern, rounding out that top 15 field. I appreciate it once again, everybody. Have a great rest of your night, and take care.